Well, welcome back here to the Beach House Grill on a Monday night in Fort Collins. Almost into the month of March. That means we're getting right down to the end of the year. I know, hadn't it?
Well, it was really good until the very end, the last 8 days.
Once again, thanks to Kristen Holt, CSU women's basketball coach. Thanks to Sam Martin for joining us as well, Ram freshman. Time to talk some Rams men's basketball. I know the end of February just didn't treat you guys very well.
Well, no, it's a tough part of our schedule. I think that's no mystery. Is that this was the most difficult part? So this was the chance if it was going to happen. This is when it could, and it was a tough week last week because I thought our kids really competed well at BYU and left it all on the floor, all that stuff, and but then the Air Force game was, that's a tough matchup for us, and they did a good job carving us up, I thought.
Yeah, the Rams lose on the road at then number 7 BYU 84-76 in front of nearly 23,000 fans at the Marriott Center in Provo. And then they remained on the road, went to Colorado Springs this past Saturday, lost to the Falcons 74-57. But to get back to that BYU game, by the way, Cougars are now up to 3rd in the nation. Wow. I think it's the highest a Mountain West Conference team has ever been.
Wow, that's pretty good. They deserve it.
They have been outstanding. But that BYU game, it was a lot like the earlier BYU game in which they kind of jumped on you, but you guys had an answer, and then it was right there within 2, 4, 6 points for a majority of the second half. Yeah,
if it was 13-all, and then they kind of got away from us a little bit, and at the end of the half they got up by about 14, and then we got it back to 8, and then the start of the second half was good for us. And we had a couple plays that I remember. One is Andy's got a contested layup to tie the game, and he misses, and then he goes over the back on the offensive rebound and gets his 4th foul. And then Dwight has kind of a breakaway, and they're running through him, and he fakes, and then he misses the layup, and they go down for a highlight dunk. And it was just, we kind of had it there, and it took us a while to get that momentum back. But, make your layups, make your free throws, and you're in pretty good shape. We're a decent free throw shooting team outside of a couple guys who don't have a very good percentage, and they're the guys that get fouled all the time. So consequently, our team looks like they don't have a very good percentage. But I thought Andy was really good that whole game, and we had to sit on him for 9 minutes in the second half.
Yeah, Ogade goes for 25 points and 8 rebounds, another 20-plus scoring effort out of Andy Ogade. And now in the season, I believe, with 27 of the 28 games for Ogade, he has scored in double figures. And you talk about free throw shooting. I mean, Andy Ogade has been an 80% free throw shooter the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, he's been good. It's just a matter of, shooting free throws, three-pointers are kind of contagious. When you're off and the next guy's off, and it's hard to get going. And free throw shooting is the same way. And Andy's really got a good rhythm right now, and I hope somebody feeds off him here rather shortly.
Couple of performances and efforts that I think we need to talk about from your ball club. Will Bill, I thought, gave you great minutes, and you've already brought up Dwight Smith, but Dwight had a couple of fantastic drives in the lane where he finished with the left hand.
And Will did really well in the first half. When things were kind of breaking loose, he steadied us, and I think he had 5 points or maybe even more in that first half when things weren't going well for the Rams. And then Dwight had some really good plays offensively, but all night, he kind of made old Jimmer Fredette shudder a little bit. I don't think Jimmer was all that enthused about having to deal with Dwight, and so that was good. And I thought Greg did a solid job on him too. We fouled him a little bit too much, but we harassed him into, I think, 17 misses and 7 turnovers. So, you're going to score when you get, like I said, if, Ogade scored 25 points on 12 shots. Fredette scored 34 points on 26 shots. They would have got equal shots. Ogade would have had 50,
I thought Fredette was a little bit frustrated in the contest, and I thought he really had to work for his points. And boy, he talks to the officials more than anybody in the conference. And I made a couple of comments,
and maybe I was frustrated. By the way,
I know so you don't have.
It's a monologue now.
You don't have to comment on that, but man, he gets the best whistle of any player in the Mountain West Conference. Yet he is lobbying the officials more than anybody in the conference. And I guess when your name's Jimmer Fredette and there's Jimmer mania surrounding the nation in the Mountain West Conference.
He's a political science major. Maybe he's been to Washington, D.C. and see how the whole thing works.
Well, it's working. It's working for him. He went to the line 16 more times against the Rams, so I guess it's a tip of the hat to Mr. Fredette. All right, plenty more to come here with the coach, Tim Miles. We'll take a timeout live at the Beach House Grill, Old Town Fort Collins. Elegant Sports, Colorado State Sports Network. Back here to the Beach House Grill in Old Town Fort Collins. We're at 125 South College Avenue in Old Town. We are here every Monday night from 6 to 7 for the Coors Light Basketball Show. Of course, this is the final show of the year, so if you didn't get down to the program this year, shame on you. You missed out on a lot of fun and a lot of great food. And, well, half of our audience, Tim, is now officially gone. That means the women's basketball team has gone to watch The Bachelor.
See, I thought it was The Bachelorette, but it's The Bachelor. So.
Bachelor this time around. They're down to the final 3.
I'm speechless on this. I don't know how it works. I know there's a rose involved. That's all I know. I don't know how it works, but I know there's one there.
It drives me nuts. But
now, how about the Oscars? I mean, you and I, did you watch the Oscars?
Yeah, I watched my wife watched the Oscars, which meant I watched the Oscars.
Sure,
and,
yeah,
it was fantastic.
You don't have 2 floors in the house yet? I mean,
no, we do.
You got to get your own basement.
No, I know we do, but
you're just being a sweet husband.
I like to stay out of the doghouse as much as I possibly can.
I'm in the doghouse all the time. I mean, I haven't seen TV in a long time, but so there's like 10 movies that were up for nominations.
10 movies up for Best Picture.
And I would venture to say that, I'm just guessing, but I'm going to guess that today when we taped a TV show, you probably got 6 of them kind of covertly in there, right?
We did.
And probably a couple more with Kristen.
Yeah, a couple more with Kristen.
You're the black swan of Oscar references here.
I guess we had to lighten up the TV show. We filmed it earlier today, and
because we got drilled at Air Force.
You got drilled at Air Force.
We're trying not to talk about that now.
There was an 8.5-minute scoring drought in that game, and I said it felt more like 127 hours.
Which I didn't. Yeah, I didn't.
It went over your head. Yeah.
I was like, thanks very little, Brian. I smacked you in the arm.
Talked about the fighter. What else? There's several others, but 127 hours is where the guy got trapped, his arm trapped.
Oh yeah, shoot it off or whatever.
He had to cut it off or something.
He took a winter bone and he.
That's right. Winter's Bone was another one of them. See, you worked in Black Swan and Winter's Bone where I wasn't able to do that in the TV show today. So
I didn't say my team played like the Black Swan or anything like that, did I? Which is kind of a crazy psycho ballet person.
Yeah, I think. I don't know.
That's the way it felt on Saturday. Maybe that was their coach.
Yeah, maybe. No. That was one that I don't think I knew you thought it would be a tough game at Air Force, but I'm pretty sure you didn't see it playing out the way it did.
Well, you just hope it won't. I mean, first of all, I know this much. We're a fairly ordinary team. That's what we talked about today. But we've been able to do some extraordinary things with great effort and enthusiasm and just kind of a guttiness and different players stepping up at different times. And so when you're an ordinary team, you can, get beat by anybody anywhere. And certainly that was we struggled guarding Air Force last time. I thought it was the worst team we've ever had defend the Princeton stuff. And they sure backed it up, and we did it all over again the second time. I don't think we defended their stuff well at all. And on top of that, we really only had one guy that was doing consistent production, which was Andy. And we, obviously, you had this feeling during the game, we got to get the ball to Andy every time. And pretty soon you start looking like when I watch game tape, they've got a guy on the right of him, guy on the left of him, guy behind him, and a guy going in to get him. And your players know that too. But we had that scoring drought. I think we had 10 possessions. We had 5 turnovers. 2 different guys had 5 turnovers. We were trying to get an Andy 2 or 3 of those times. We had another guy go 0 for 4. So when we weren't turning over, one guy was missing. And then we have another guy that goes up, misses one free throw, and then he makes the next but steps on the line. And they call him for over the deal. And that's just, that's 10 possessions of emptiness you can't do down the stretch. And while Air Force didn't really run away from us and just kind of systematically scored one possession, a couple of possessions later we fouled them, whatever it might be. And now you look up and you were down 4. Or 2, I guess it was 2, and now that it's 10, and we just that's not good enough. That's not good enough, and that's how you lose.
Yeah, and I was remarking on it. It was 47-45, 13 minutes to go in the game. You guys are down. It looked like you had the momentum, and the drought hit 3 minutes. The drought hit 4 minutes, but you guys are right there still in the game. You're only down 6. The drought hits 5 minutes. Yeah. Well, you're only down 8. You're still right in the game, and you thought the drought would end, and okay, gotta get a little equilibrium back once again. It just could never do it.
No. I don't know. One of the things that have gone through my mind, which I'm sure is not classically original or anything like that is, I think the guys really wore the stress and wear of being on the bubble. When you're on the bubble, if you like attention, I'm the youngest survivor, I love attention, so it's fine with me. So you're on the news all the time. I mean, every time you turn around, they're talking about Colorado State. On the UNLV, they never talk. UNLV's in the tournament, nobody talks about them. When you're first team out, fourth team out, or whatever, last team in, one of the last four in, they're talking about those guys for weeks at a time. And, you can't get away from it. It's on the internet, it's on SportsCenter, it's on all the time. And we've talked about it with our guys to address it, because I'd rather have them hear my message than let them formulate their own opinion from watching TV or whatever it might be. But you could see them kind of wear that stress, I think, because we never have any enthusiasm for a good play, and we lament every mistake 5 times over. But you know what? That's not independent to us. There's 20 other teams in the country going through the same thing, right? You got to deal with it. And although I thought we failed with UNLV and Air Force, I don't think that makes us failures. I think that we still have a lot to play for. We still have a chance. We've probably heard our best case scenario resume, obviously, but now we've still got a chance. And it starts with one game at a time, one possession at a time, going out and finding a way to beat Utah.
Yep, can't change the past, but Colorado State still at 18-10. RPI still at 47. We will look ahead as we continue the program here tonight from the Beach House Grill. We're in Old Town Fort Collins here tonight for the Coors Light Basketball Coaches Show. Timeout from Nelligan Sports, Colorado State Sports Network. All right, welcome back here on the program. A couple of segments left here as we talk Colorado State men's basketball. CSU sitting at 18-10. They're at 8-6 in Mountain West Conference play. They're sitting in that 4th spot in conference play. And a big week to finish out the season as the Rams get Utah coming in on Wednesday night. And then on the road at now number 9 San Diego State coming up on Saturday. That concludes the regular season. And Utah coming up on Wednesday night. One final time, at least in the regular season, that fans can come out and bid farewell to a great senior class for you.
Yeah, we really, hopefully we have a great crowd, and because these guys have built this program from the ground up right with us and right in front of our eyes, and hopefully we can send them off and show our appreciation to them. I know how much I appreciate them, and I'm not going to miss them just yet because we're going to still get a lot of mileage out of them and hopefully play for another month. But at the same time, they're a special group of guys, and it's in a really important ball game for us too. So we'll need to get that Moby Magic going and get that home court advantage rolling.
Yeah, but you got to get a good crowd coming up Wednesday night. 7 o'clock is the tip-off there. And apparently you're going to be giving out some free tickets coming up tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm going over to Noodles, and we'll be showing Denmark's In a Better World, In a Better Place, which is the best film for foreign language. And
did you just look
I
that
just
up?
looked that up. I just looked that up. Yeah, I couldn't figure out if Denmark was part of the title or if they were just saying it was from Denmark. So I just kind of botched it out there.
So we're going to be showing the
I'm going to have it up.
Language
yeah,
film.
there's a
You're going to break it down.
Yeah, there's a place where there's a Tim Miles autograph poster, which I show my kids. I take my children in there. I'm like, that's Dad's. It's like, I know we see it all the time. And all this. And so we're going to take that poster down. And then we're going to show the film right there, I think. I got to get the okay from Peg Bush.
Are you going to get the dry erase board out?
Not over the film. I want to get all the subtitles going, too, so I can speak my Denmarkese, my Scandinavian, the way I should be.
You're going to translate for everybody, right?
I sure will.
No subtitles.
Ufta.
One of the things I like about your reality show, every time you're in the locker room, you love that dry erase, and you hammer that thing when you write on that. Do you have
We've
to
had some interesting dry erase moments in my life, but those are private, Brian. I'm not going to share them. We're going to save those for a better day.
Okay. Utah, what do you expect from them? Because, but they have been all over the map this year. They've been up, they've been down, they've been up, and, well, they're kind of on an upswing as they face you
won
guys.
3 in a row, one at the pit. Last time we played them, they had just won 3 in a row and beaten New Mexico at home. And they're Jim. They're running Utes, right? So they're kind of running around, and now he's really slowed their tempo, and that's helped their turnover margin. And so when you look at things at the end of the day, we're going to have to deal with a team that's unique systematically when it comes to defense. They'll pressure. They lead you into a 7-footer or a 7-3-foot shot blocker who's going to set the world's record for block shots, and Jason, or not Washburn, but David Foster. And so you've got to deal with that. And when we go inside like we do, that's always a problem. They'll block plenty of our shots, but we're going to go in there We're going to get those guards off the snide and start making some outside shots. It's going to be a great day. You should be in Moby. It's going to be a lot of fun, folks. A lot of fun.
Getting those guards productive here in the last week of the regular season into postseason.
We've just gone to threatening their lives now. We just threaten them. If you don't make a shot, we're going to, stuff like that. That's kind of, it might be juvenile. It might be short term, but we're in the short term. So I figure, what the heck?
That's right.
And I'm joking, Mom. Okay, so just relax, please.
We might see Kaipo Sabas then, huh?
Well, yeah. Kaipo's awesome, and he can make shots.
Hey, you guys went 5 of 29 from three-point range. Kaipo's a great shooter.
I know. Thank you. Want to coach the team and do the radio? This is great. This guy.
Do I need to come down to the huddle at some point?
Why don't you just hand me who I should play like every time out?
It's easy to coach a college basketball. Everybody has the answers.
No, you're right though. Kaipo's a great guy.
Yeah, guard play,
and a good shooter.
Guard play will certainly be a key.
It will improve.
Yeah, there's no question. I know it can't get any worse.
No, it struggled, and the guys are lovely guys. And today I thought we had a decent practice. We were more a little looser, a little more ready to go. So hopefully that translates into good play.
All right, one final break. When we come back, we'll talk about the Aztecs of San Diego State and onward into the Mountain West Conference. That's next from Elegant Sports, Colorado State Sports Network. All right, it's a final segment, not only of the night here, but of the entire year. It's kind of sad to see this come and go. What are you going to do on Mondays without me, Tim?
I'll probably show up here by force of habit and go,
whoops.
Hey, where's Lauer? Let's go. Let's have dinner.
Well, I'll tell you what, you could do worse things on Monday night than show up at the Beach House Grill.
Beach House is awesome.
Outstanding food here, great beverage, Coors Light, always cold and on tap. So thank you to everybody that has come out all season long. Have a great audience that have shown up each and every Monday night. We've had a blast. Well, about 5 more minutes left here in the program. San Diego State coming up on Saturday. It wraps up the season. Aztecs losing at home to BYU. That was kind of the marquee game in the Mountain West, and it's really in its 12-year history. 14 threes made by BYU. I'm not sure if they're going to lose if they hit 14 threes on you.
Well, they are. I mean, that was a real impressive showing, I thought. And to be honest, BYU, I thought, played with a mental toughness that they didn't display against us. On Wednesday. I didn't see that out of them, and I thought, well, if that's their attitude going into San Diego State, they got a real problem on their hand, but they came out and played tremendous, I thought, and then you get a Buell make threes and Harstock make a three, kind of the way they did at the beginning of our game. Buell made one against us, and they all made one against us at our place, and that's what they do. They go into those environments, and you got to chase them off the three-point line early in games, early in half, because they're hunting those shots early, and they're making them. Bottom line, they're making them. I'd love to see their shooting percentage as a half wears on from the three-point line. It'd be really interesting outside of Jimmer.
Yeah. San Diego State falls to 27-2 in the season. Obviously, both losses coming to BYU. Still a top 10 team. They've really had a definitive home court advantage this year. I know it didn't work out Saturday, but you guys have been into plenty of hornets' nests, if you will. I imagine you feel comfortable with your kids going into another packed arena.
Yeah, it's going to be their senior night. It's going to be a huge crowd, sellout crowd. It's been sold out for weeks, and that's going to be fun. That's what we're here for. And I know how senior nights are. We had ours against UNLV, and those are really emotional times. So I'm not afraid to go in there on senior night and see if we can mix it up with the Aztecs.
Absolutely,
right?
So you guys are 18-10, still at number 47 in the RPI. But again, maybe some of that bubble talk was kind of a burden for your basketball team, and they kind of felt the pressure. What about now, maybe, since you're not in some of that talk? The guys look more maybe relaxed this week? I thought
practice was better today. It's hard to tell. You never know until you get in the game, get punched in the mouth a little bit, find out what you're made of and what you've got. So I trust our guys. I expect them to come out and play well. And not that I didn't trust them going into Air Force. I was disappointed about that. But we're not beyond a bad performance here and there. And I thought when we lost to UNLV, we lost to them playing very well. We lost to a team playing well that can win in any environment. And so there's no shame in losing. It's the way you lose. And I think that was the disappointing part about Air Force. UNLV was some effort things. We let some other things get in our way. But it all kind of goes back to the same thing. You got to free your mind to compete.
It's almost a situation when you get in the position you were. Sometimes you play not to lose. You say, okay, we can't lose at Air Force if we're going to go to the NCAA tournament, and it puts more pressure on your side. I mean, I went into that Air Force game. I'm just a broadcaster. I have no outcome of the game, but I was really nervous for the game. Oh, you can't lose this. You can't lose this. And Ram fans saying you can't lose this game against Air Force. Well, now you can kind of play with wild abandon now, almost at this point. And you can go into San Diego State with nothing to lose.
And we don't have anything to lose, and it's just a great opportunity. First of all, I just want you to know, you're not just a broadcaster. We have a spot on our staff. It's called the Special Assistant to the Head Coach.
Okay,
and
nice.
They can dole out advice and whatever they want. And that position has kind of come and gone for being opened and or filled or not filled. So, if I get an opening in that spot pretty quick, I can work you in there. And,
that's right.
And usually it's always interesting advice. So, and I know you've got a definitive opinion on playing time. And but you're right. You're exactly right on. Get loose. Just play. You got nothing to lose, boys. Play hard and have fun, And I believe in these guys. I still think we've got a lot of noise to make, and I'm looking forward to getting to it Wednesday night.
Yeah, and that's the thing that Ram fans have to remember. I know it was a disappointing loss, but this is an 18-10 team that still has an opportunity to make a lot of noise here.
When's the last at-large team we had?
90? 89. I mean, one of those two. I don't know. I think they actually won the WAC. I don't know.
Yeah,
that's a good question. So, all right, Tim. Thanks so much. Had a blast all season long. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Thanks everybody for being here.
Yep, thank you everybody that has made this show possible.
Thanks, Brian.
And a lot of fun. Thank you. For Bob Greenfield and Charlie Grimes, I'm Brian Roth. Thank you to the Beach House Grill, and we'll see you next year here on the Colorado State Basketball Show.